Okay, so um, if y'all hear some noise in the background, that's my cats playing around. The second noble truth from the reading of the Buddha, or the word of the Buddha. So the noble truth of the origin of suffering. And we'll try to read this quickly. I have not been posting as much as I'd like to. Hopefully I can post a little bit more. The noble truth of the origin of suffering. What now is the noble truth of the origin of suffering? It is craving, which gives rise to fresh rebirth, and bound up with pleasure and lust, now here, now there, finds ever fresh delights. And I think one of the things that, because I've seen this be translated in different ways, clinging, craving, it not just a simple desire, which, some translations may render it as desire, but it's not just a normal, like, I want to go to the store today type of desire. I want to achieve, enlightenment, nibbana. Not that kind of I desire. Just very strong clinging, craving, a very strong desire, which, that's why sexual intercourse being one of the things that can create one of the strongest desires and clinging, and just like addictions, sexual addictions, like where people go back and just want to re-experience it over and over and over again and cannot let it go, is one of the reasons why it's not that sex is bad or evil. It's impossible to procreate without it. But when we let it be the thing that runs our lives to where we feel like we have to have it, that's when it becomes a problem. So it's not just, having sex is evil. No. It's more of the idea that that we cling to it and crave it to such an extent. Come here. Okay. So the next part says the central craving, the craving for eternal existence, the craving for self-annihilation. So interesting that the Buddha included here not just the cravings for sexual desire, lust, and things like that, but the Buddha also included things like, the craving for existence, because it's, when you think of something and you're using your brain to comprehend, to analyze, we enjoy that intellectual experience of discovery and things like that. And one of the things that Buddhism says is that the idea of eternal life, just eternal existence, is a fabrication that we created because we want to continue to exist. And that's a really hard idea to let go of, to be okay with death. I'm not okay with death. I'm not okay with ceasing to exist. I have not reached Nibbana. I have never claimed that I am anywhere near Nibbana. And it is one of the things that is really, really, really difficult to get to that point where we can just let go of that continuous, perpetual existence using the neurons, using our brains, is an enjoyable thing. We enjoy existing. But also the opposing, or I was about to say something else, so it was kind of mixed two words in one. The opposing view of self-annihilation, the opposite, self-annihilation, where you have, craving for eternal existence. If you want complete self-annihilation or death, that is the opposite. It's not healthy. It's not good. And we don't want to be on either side of that. We want that middle ground, not to desire death or self-annihilation or complete obliteration, but also not to crave for just continuous existence in the same way. And we do continue to exist for, our energy never ceases to exist, but we exist in a different form. So what we really start to get married to is our current existence, the way we currently exist, this current body, this current brain, and we want that just to continue. And by doing that, we lose sight of the fact there might be a better existence for us out there, okay? But where does this craving arise and take root? Wherever in the world there are delightful, pleasurable things, there this craving arises and takes root. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind are delightful and pleasurable. There this craving arises and takes root. Let me see. Visual objects, sound, smells, taste, bodily impressions, and mind objects are delightful and pleasurable. There this craving arises and takes root. Consciousness, sense, impression, feeling, born of sense impressions, perception, will, craving, thinking, and reflecting are delightful and pleasurable. There this craving arises and takes root. This is called the noble truth of the origin of suffering. And let's see if we can knock out some of this extra. It's going to talk about present karma results. Truly due to sensuous craving, conditioned through sensuous craving, impelled by sensuous craving, entirely moved by sensuous craving, kings fight with kings, princes with princes, priests with priests, citizens with citizens, and the mother quarrels with the son with the mother, the father with the son with the father, brother quarrels with brother, brother with sister, sister with brother, friend with friend, thus given to dissension, quarreling, and fighting, they fall upon one another with fists, sticks, or weapons, and thereby they suffer death or deadly pain. And further, due to sensuous craving, conditioned through sensuous craving, impelled by sensuous craving, entirely moved by sensuous craving, people break into houses, rob, plunder, pillage whole houses, commit highway robbery, seduce the wives of others. Then the rulers have such people caught and inflict on them various forms of punishment, and thereby they incur death or deadly pain. Now this is the misery of sensuous craving, the heaping up of suffering in this present life due to sensuous craving, conditioned through sensuous craving, caused by sensuous craving, entirely dependent on sensuous craving. Future karma results, and further people take the evil way in deeds, the evil way in words, the evil way in thoughts, and by taking the evil way in deeds, words, and thoughts at the dissolution of the body, after death they fall into a downward state of existence, a state of suffering, into an unhappy destiny, and the abyss of the hells. But this is the misery of sensuous craving, the heaping up of suffering in the future life, due to sensuous craving, conditioned through sensuous craving, caused by sensuous craving, entirely dependent on sensuous craving. Not in the air, nor ocean midst, nor hidden in the mountain clefts. Nowhere is found a place on earth where man is freed from evil deeds. And then it says, karma is volition. It is volition. And in English, I'm not sure about the original language here or if this is a true translation in the sense of perfectly accurate. But I know in English, the word volition refers to an act of will, what you want to do, what you intend to do. So if you decide to hurt somebody, that's your act of volition, even if you don't hurt them because something stops you from doing it. Okay, so now I can't speak to the actual original work because I don't know the Pali language, but I do know as far as if they're choosing the correct word there, we're talking about your act of your will, what you intend to do, your intention. It is volition that I call karma, which in karma is actually meaning action. Having willed, one acts by body, speech, and mind. There are actions, ripening in hells, ripening in the animal kingdom, ripening in the domain of ghosts, ripening amongst men, ripening in heavenly worlds. The result of actions is of three kinds: ripening in the present life, right in the next life, or in future lives. So we're going to stop there. We've gone over 10 minutes, and then next time we'll pick up with talking more on karma from the reading of the Buddha.